I've been woodworking professionally since 2012, and in all that time, I've only had 3 customers call me up and ask me to address a problem with a project that I had made. I consider that to be a pretty good track record, but it's still never a fun call or email to get. So even though you could see with these clips, which aren't the projects that were the problem, my work kind of runs the gamut of what you can make. It was the most recent project, not recent customer that called me that was the catalyst for making this video. So it was a very somewhat simple problem in that she had full overlaid doors on a cabinet. I filmed the project for the video, the channel. I'll show it in here. And she had a door that had just twisted to almost a 1/2 inch out. You could tell by it laying on my table saw top just how far out it was. It was making it protrude from the cabinet. This is the piece before I delivered it, probably last summer. The door I just closed was the one in question. You could see right now it looks pretty good. This was one of the second projects that I had to get picked up. Now this was my error, but it was also just a bad design. You can see she wanted an extension table, but she didn't want it to have a lip on it. I tried to explain one of the reasons that furniture has lips on it is to hide the changes in the humidity of the seasons will make that top either shrink or expand, and that lip hides it. So when it had a big expansion problem, and you could see this was a couple months later, that's a piece of the tabletop. This was a full rebuild. All of that humidity had caused the top to shrink, and it also caused the top to warp in a way that I've never seen on any furniture I've made. How much this wood moved. You could see by her finger in the picture, the top shrunk almost a 1/2 inch on each side, and you could see just how much those tabletops warped. Now, a part of the problem with this tabletop was I didn't put as much finish on the bottom as I did on the top, and I think that caused part of the problems. The customer personally thought some of the wood I got from my lumber guy wasn't fully dry. That could have been part of the problem, but you can see how severe that cupping was. In order to fix this turned into a complete redesign. I convinced her to put a lip on the table, and that was sent back, and I haven't had any problems with it since. The first phone call I got, this is a very old video, super simple, easy mistake for a beginner to make. I was making a wine cabinet. I had a solid hardwood front on this drawer box that I glued to it and put a million screws in. So when that hardwood front started changing with the seasons, the plywood that it was glued to wasn't shifting, and it ended up having the whole thing to bow. This was a pretty easy fix. I popped off the front, attached it with screws so that it can move, and that was how I moved forward. So for the cabinet that I'm working on, this was the original video. You could see I'm building the doors just like I always do. I've made hundreds of doors over the years. I've never had a problem with them. There must have been some interior tension with some of the lumber, or the glue up wasn't perfect. But you could see, and this is why I was mad about this project. When I was building it, the door was a hair proud. You'll see I poke it coming up in the original video. But because of the Blum hinges, you can make enough fine-tune adjustments. I was able to adjust it and not rebuild the door like I should have. So a year later, that little bit of difference had turned into such a severe warp that I don't blame her. It was noticeable, and she wanted it fixed. So I brought the whole door back to my shop. Luckily, they were overlaid doors, so I could make an entire new door, not have to worry about inset or anything like that. I decided to dissect the door because I thought I could reuse that inner panel, because plywood's usually pretty dimensionally stable, and obviously this fix was on me, so I could save some on materials. So the rails I took off the door, there was really nothing wrong with them. They were perfectly flat. The stiles, which I thought I might be able to save at this point, was part of the problem. So you'll see as I pop them off, one lays pretty flat on the table saw, the other one just has a severe twist. So a lot of this lumber I will get from Lowe's. I've never had a huge issue with it, but who knows, a piece might not have been fully dry. As you could see, I probably should have rebuilt the door in my shop, but anyone who works in the manner that I work know that it's really hard getting these projects done on time as it is. So if it was something that I could change with the hinges, I adjusted it and sent it on its way. So this first one you could see is not too bad. The second side with the hinges had a pretty severe twist. It was most likely pulling the whole door out of square, and you could see when I hold it up just how bad that twist was. So like I said, I decided to just completely remake that outer frame. I can make doors pretty quickly in my shop. Less than a half an hour, I had all the pieces dry fit. Poplar I usually have in my shop, but for this I went and bought fresh pieces. I didn't want, it's bad enough to be embarrassed by having to fix something you made. I definitely didn't want a second phone call, so I got a super flat piece, remade it the same way I made it the first time, cut down my rails and stiles, put my groove in the center of all of my pieces. I was working off the old door because I obviously wanted this to match as perfectly as possible. Did some test cuts on the tongues that will fit in my grooves, made sure those fit perfectly, made sure everything was square. Obviously the second time around I'm not double checking things, I'm quadruple checking things. Once all that was set, I could go through and add that tongue to the rails, cut all of those like I do on the radial arm saw, and then dry fit this together. The problem with the dry fit was I was using that original piece of plywood, and when I put everything together, it still wasn't perfect. You could see on my table saw it's still rocking back and forth. So I popped this apart because I didn't check the plywood, because plywood's one of those things, especially in smaller pieces, you always assume it's flat, and plywood can play tricks on you just as much as any other lumber. You could see sitting on my saw, the plywood was also not square. So whether it was the poplar or the plywood that was pulling it out of square, it didn't matter at this point. The entire door left. I had plywood in my shop so I could cut that down. You just see the vast difference. Put everything together, put it on the top, and you could see it is perfectly flat. Luckily, I had extra, she kept the extra paint for this, so once it was glued together, I could spray paint everything and send it back to her. But just a lesson to people starting out, these mistakes do happen. Luckily, I've had really great customers. You could see it back in the space. It looks like it was never replaced. And the best thing you could do is learn from these lessons and get better on the next piece, because no matter what anyone says, it happens to all of us.